Camera's going over. In this video, I'm going to take you all for a walk around of my 2024 Africa Twin Adventure Sport ES and talk about all the mods I have done on my build so far. And the first one I want to talk about, which is probably the most controversial, is my CarPlay screen. So if I turn the key here, you'll see the bike fire up. And I think why it's controversial is a lot of people say, well, why do you need this if you already have it there? Because the Africa Twin has CarPlay. So why would I need another device with CarPlay? As I also have my phone right here. Well, number one, a lot of times I don't ride with my phone right there. I'll put it in a bag or something. If I'm off on the trails, then I will fire up my phone so I can have a different map here. Then if I got Gaia up here, I can zoom in and then just keep this on my standard. But why I don't like using the one on the base screen of the Twin, number one, it's finicky. Again, you got to have a MiFi cable over here, then pair it to your headset, so on and so forth. This way I got full control of everything of mine, and I still have my main dash. That's the biggest thing. So I can have my map right here, dedicated, controlling everything, even if I don't have my phone on me, and then I can still see all of my bike's info where I'm adjusting, again, my traction control and stuff, and I can see my tack. I really like having that rather than just relying on this tiny screen down here. Now, on a plus side of the CarPlay device, there's a little bit more packed into it. As you see right down here on my valve, I actually have the tire pressure sensor up there, which is so helpful. I just love having that peace of mind. Let me know what the pressure is on my tires if I go off-road and I air down a little bit. It's very nice to have that. You got that front for the back. And then also up here, you can see I got a camera tucked away there. I also have one on the back end of the bike. And again, it's just a nice peace of mind. It actually records. It's got a G sensor if it's about to get in a wreck, which I luckily haven't had to test yet and hopefully never have to. But anyway, that's a nice peace of mind, but it's also like a dash cam and it records whatever's going on there in the loop of whatever you set it on. So other than it just being Apple CarPlay, two other really nice bonuses on it as well. So again, I know the CarPlay device is a controversial modification. A lot of people in my video are like, why fix something that's broke? Well, even on my 2022 Africa Twin, I didn't like how the Apple CarPlay was implemented on this bike. I think it's just too finicky, and this just makes it a very nice, seamless integration to the bike. And again, it's phenomenal if you're riding off-road. If you're just going to your local Starbucks or over to grandma's house, no, you probably don't need something like that. But if you're going long distances and again, getting off the beaten path, it really becomes very beneficial. Now, the next one is probably one of the best mods I've done on this bike. That is being tires. And I've tried a couple. Over here, we have the stock ones that come on this. And these are the Bridgestone Adventure A41s, if you guys can see right there. Absolutely phenomenal, amazing tire on the road. Absolutely love these. I mean, they stick, they are grippy, they are so nice on the road. But if you're like me and you're buying an adventure bike, you're gonna want something where you can do a little bit of off-roading. And these Dunlop Trail Max Missions, oh my gosh, they have been absolutely amazing. Let's go to the back side of the bike and I'll show you this here, because I have about roughly 3,000 miles, maybe a little bit more on these tires now. And look at all that still. Like, my gosh, I can probably get another solid 3,000-4,000, heck, maybe 5. I'm not sure. I'm getting down to this right here in the middle, so it might start getting a little flat right there, but good mercy, everywhere else there is so much bite. Now, I did also try the Battle Axe AX41s on this bike. As you all know, I love that tire. I did a whole video dedicated about it, but coming to the Adventure Sport Africa Twin with the 19-inch front wheel, which is, oh my gosh, it's so nice. We'll save that for the long-term review coming up of this bike, but it's a more touring road focused than the 21, right? And I didn't want to lose that great road sensibility with this bike and that feel. And the AX41s, as much as I love that tire, they did. They lost it. When I was getting into the corners, I was like, okay, no, this isn't as fun as it was before with the stock tires. And these right here, the Trail Max Mission, are that perfect middle ground. I do want to try the Trail Max Raids, I believe they're called. Those look pretty nice, but again, these are so good. I might swap the rear once I need to and go through a complete set like that, but I don't know. Again, these tires are amazing on this bike. And the next mod is going to be our butt cushion here, the seat. As you can see, I have the seat concepts. We can see the tag right back there. This is the standard comfort one. It's not the tall, it's not the low. It is the comfort, but as you see, I do have the one piece there. And it's always in the high position, but you can still flat foot this. I'm right at 6 feet with, I believe, 32 or 33-inch inseam, and I can still flat foot it with it. But the nice thing about it is it's so much wider. The stock one, again, would come right by that curvature and come into there. So now you just got a whole lot of butt placement there. I will tell you, it is definitely firmer. It's breaking in a little bit more over time. Again, I got probably close to 3,000 miles on this, but the density is definitely different compared to the stock. This is the rear seat for the stock one. It's just, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but I mean, it is just soft, and there's a lot of padding on that. That even goes for the front seat, the stock one. But then coming over here, you can just see it is so much firmer. The seat concepts is incredibly firmer than the stock one. I really think Honda did good with the new seat for the 2024 Africa Twin. This is on an Adventure Sport, by the way. I rode my buddy's base, the red version, and his seat was pretty firm. It was probably the same density of the seat concepts. But as far as on the Adventure Sport, it is very nice, soft, plush, and cozy. So maybe if you're a little bit slimmer and you got a thin tuchus or something, I don't know, and it's not sliding off the seat, you'll be pretty darn happy with it. Because again, you're riding down the road and it's just plush Cadillac feeling like you're bouncing on it. That's my one complaint, is the seat concepts is a little bit firmer, but it makes it up for the width, and it is definitely much more cozy for longer rides. Now let's go and talk about my luggage setup here. I am using the SW Motec, I forget the name of these right here. I did a whole video on them, but they're their new plastic ones right here. A little bit lighter weight, and I honestly like the way they look with the black on the bike here. It just gives it a nice sleek design. Again, how I got the black seat. But other than that, some people have stated they're big. And yes, they are big. They're very plump on this bike. You can see on the left side, you actually have the bigger case. I have the bigger case on the back, which you can make the smaller case as well, which is what we have on the exhaust side. But what I like about this is when I go on long rides, this is what I use. And actually, just this last week, I went to the grocery store and loaded these up with groceries. Pretty cool that I actually had that much space. But if you don't like that, they're very easy to get off. I'm trying to do this with one hand here. Let me see if I can. Okay, this is tough. Okay, there we go. Oh, no, it's still, there we go. Whew. So you see, it attached in there, locks in by that top bit, and then locks into those bottom. Just right down there, you got those little notches there, and then up here. Now, I actually have the locking mechanism up here because these do come off very easy, like the racks, not just the cases, but the racks. Boop, you can pop there, pop it there, and then pop it here. And then, of course, since I got the lock there, I got to unlock it. But then this entire rack comes off. The only piece that's locked on the bike is this one back here by the license plate. So again, even though they're big and bulky, you can take them off, and that's just how I ride. Like if I'm just around town, just cruising or going for a short ride, I'll leave the tall case on the back usually. Sometimes I do swap to the small one, but again, I like having some extra space to throw my jacket or if I need something. But you can take them all off this bike, and that's what I like about them, is they're very versatile. So yeah, they are bulky, but again, if you're not going on a long tour, you don't need them, and just simply pop them off. The other thing about these cases that some may not like are that they are the side opening, not the top bit here, which again, trying to do this with one hand. So when they pop open, you can see you got the side. Now this is the larger one here. So you can see, and I got the little felt lining in there, and then this net down here to hold stuff. And it does have these little plastic. I'm not sure how well these will hold up. My top case always gets jimmied in the side because it just kind of bows out like that. But anyways, as you see, they are side opening. I wish there was a net right here to prevent stuff from falling out if you were to open it up, because with the bike leaning on the kickstand, everything does plop out this way. So a bag to built in there, SW Motec makes those, and maybe that's something I need. That's a little bit of annoying, but what I do like about them is they're so easy to load. Once you take them off the bike and you're sitting them on the ground, you almost stuff them up like a suitcase. Then when you get to your hotel or campsite, you take them off and just pop them open like that. They become incredibly versatile, unlike the metal ones where you got to shove everything down the top and then you're digging down the bottom of that case and you can't find nothing. So pros and cons here for sure, but I'm pretty darn happy with them. Now, one thing you are noticing on my bike is I don't have a tank bag. And why am I talking about this in the mods when I don't have one? But you all know I love a tank bag. A tank bag's something I just about always use because I can put my important stuff, bam, right there, phone, wallet, whatever I need, right there. And I tried a lot of the SW Motecs. I believe the GS, the micro waterproof, the waterproof something or another, and they all just drove me nuts because none of them sloped down on the tank. They came here, cut off like that and it had this massive gap up there. Oh my gosh, it was the ugliest thing ever and I just couldn't stand it. But other than that, when I went full lock on my bars, it would always hit them. And if it changed my drive modes over there, honk my horn, which is just embarrassing, right? If you got DCT, it's gonna hit your gear selector over there or the drive mode. It's just, again, they did not work at all. And then also now, as you see, I got my phone and CarPlay, so they definitely wouldn't fit there. But as much as I like a tank bag, I'm really becoming used to using one without. Plus I can get to my gas nice and easy now, but they just did not work on this bike. Next mod I want to show you is my crash bars. And I am using the Heed crash bars, which I've always used Heed. Back from my NC 750 that I had, multiple bikes. My 2022 Africa Twin, I had Heed crash bars. I use them on just about everything. And why that is because they're incredibly solid and just built great for not a horrible price. And they protect the bike very, very well. I believe the other ones, what are they, Tour Tech, or I don't know what they are, but they protect pretty nice. They come out pretty far here. I'm not a huge fan of those kind, how they bolt on up here. They look a little bit tacky. These are just very sleek and they flow with the bike very well. As you see up here, comes down and you got really nice engine protection. There's some other ones that'll just come down here and it won't actually guard the engine. But a lot of people have stated the Heed ones, the holes are bad or they don't line up. I've never had any issues with them. I really haven't. So again, I've used so many of them that I can definitely put my name behind them. I'd say the one thing I don't like is this gap up front. I mean, it's so mild and maybe I'm nitpicking here, but you got that little gap up front rather than meeting up perfect. As far as crashing on them, I haven't yet, and thankfully I haven't, and I'm not gonna kick my bike over to see. You know, I can sit here and come over to the bike and pull on them and yank on them and they are not budging one bit. They are on there solid. I swear by these crash bars. I absolutely love them for, heck, any bike really. Now, one of the main reasons I also have crash bars other than protecting the bike is being able to mount me some lights on them. The stock headlights are great on this bike. You got the turning lights and everything. They're pretty darn good, but nothing comes close to having a dedicated set of auxiliary lights, and being able to mount them on the crash bars just makes it very easy and convenient. Now, these are just basic cheap Amazon ones, which I actually got them routed up here. So if I'm at a campsite, I can run them, bam, just by pressing them. And you can see they turn on right there. And they're not these crazy, ridiculous bright ones where you're gonna be blinding everybody. They're gonna be flashing you. They're just perfect for the motorcycle on the road. You can leave them on all the time, perfectly fine. And they light up the road pretty darn good. If I got any nighttime footage, I'll plug it in here. Not sure if I do. But again, these are really, really awesome lights. And I believe they were only like maybe 75 bucks or something. And right above that is our windshield. I have the WRS Capinord. No, this is the touring windshield. The Capinord is the big one, which I have as well, but that's just a little bit tall. If you're taller than 6 feet, I believe that Capinord one will be pretty nice for you. The thing I like about it is it comes a little bit wider. But this one is definitely better than the stock. The stock one's just a little bit too puny. I've tried getting the wind deflectors over here, which, by the way, Honda has the old ones listed. They do not fit on here, at least the ones that I received in the mail. I received the ones for their previous model, so just a tip, make sure you get the right ones. But the thing I don't like is even when you adjust this windshield and pull it up, you get this gap right here. So on the base twin, you don't have this. It's kind of just like one piece down here, I believe. But this one, once you move the windshield up, you get these gaps over here and it creates this wind tunnel that's coming in, cutting through right there and then over here. And it's kind of annoying. So I don't think it's my end game windshield. I want something that comes out a little bit wider and eliminates that wind pocket right there whenever I extend the windshield for highway use. Now, as far as the handguards, we are using the SW Motec handguards and they fit amazing. You can see they just tuck right down underneath all the wires. Very easy install coming through. I have the extra wind deflector up here as well, as you see inside of it. And then coming out here, I just like, again, the sleek design, the black. I believe Bark Busters are silver, so I like the black. Again, it gives it a really nice sleek design. And then you got this little metal bar on the end here to prevent it if you're going down or something. Now, one thing that's really interesting, I can't get this off right now, but if I pop this off and show you on the inside, there's actually a little screw hole right there, as you see. So I'm not sure what that's for, but I'm thinking, man, can I mount a camera or something to that? Maybe it's for like a light or turn signal or something. I don't know, but a lot of flexibility. I think I might be able to like just mount a camera right there. That'd be pretty cool. But again, as far as the handguards, I think they just flow really nice with the style of the bike. Now, one other little cool cool mod that's kind of hidden on my bike here, talking about the bars. Well, number one, I use a bar bag, the little giant loop waterproof one. Keep garage door opener, some cables and stuff, just some quick accessories that I need right there. It doesn't take up any space, it's tucked away. But the cool thing are these little ball attachments. See, I got one down on the mirror right here. But if you come even further, you're going to see another one down here attached to the skid plate. And what I use those for is actually attaching my camera. So it's real nice. If you want a face cam up there, or just a camera looking forward that, you know, you don't want, again, right up in your face, you can kind of sit in it right there. And then down there, you can get really cool road shots. I did the tail of the dragon with this bike, and I just attached the camera down there. It was just really cool. And again, being able to mount those little balls. Anyway, heck, you can put one on the back. I got a box full of them, so I'm gonna put them on this in my 300 rally. But you can get some really cool shots, again, just mounting those anywhere on your bike. Now, while we're down here, I'm gonna cover a few mods. Number one being the quick shifter. And this is something you need on this bike. In the US version, it doesn't come with it. I don't know in Euro if it does, but man, this is something that should be on this $18,000 bike. Like, I feel like this is Honda just being a bunch of cheapskates and not putting this on there. So again, this is a must, hands down. It makes the bike so much more fun to ride. It sounds amazing. It's just an accessory that should be on this bike. I don't know why Honda chinched out on this. Very easy install, so don't be worried about that. I believe it's maybe $200 to $300. So again, this is a mod you absolutely need. Now, going right back to the backside here, you can see I got these Acerbis frame guards. And why I actually have these on is I had to cut my standard ones because I was working on the SW Motec crash bars to fit on here, but they sent me the ones for the base twin. So anyways, instead of buying the stock parts, I said, man, these look pretty darn good. And I like them because they got a nice grip right there. The white isn't a true match. This is a little more off-white looking, and this is white, which I'm sure is going to get pretty dirty easily. But again, they're really nice because they grip onto your boots right there. And this is like maybe only 40 bucks. So really nice little accidental mod, I would say. And then coming down here, as far as my kickstand foot, I got the Puig one, which is really nice. I mean, this sucker is big. And this is something I've needed because I do go off-roading quite a bit on my bike. And we actually did a trip to Florida that was full of sand. I did a whole video on that one. Go check it out. But anytime I would park my bike and just set it on a kickstand, it just go sink down on it and just about fall over. So thank goodness I finally have that. That is, again, one of those cheap mods that you just need. Now, one other mod I forgot to mention over here are my tank pads or my tank grips over here on the side. And these are something, again, I think you need, especially if you're riding off-road and you're standing up. It just grips onto you. I think we all know what tank grips are used for, right? The stinker about these that I want to mention is Honda didn't change them. Just like the deflectors up there, they didn't change these for the new body style. They fit perfectly fine. But as you see, they cut into the graphics on the new bike when before it flowed with it perfectly. So you really don't need them this big. So if Honda made some that just cut up like this, they'd be perfectly fine. But it seems like they're trying to carry over a lot of the parts and accessories from the previous Africa Twin to the new ones, which they just don't seamlessly fit. I mean, this works. The wind deflectors don't. These work, but again, it drives me nuts that it cuts into the graphics. Now we have one last mod, and I'm gonna sit here for a second and see if you guys can pinpoint it by just looking at the bike, as it's one of my favorite mods for this bike. If you spotted it, yes, it is that front fender. It is the white fender. I finally found it, and my gosh, I think it makes the bike look so much better. That dark blue one up there just looked out of place. The whole bike is white. You got this little dark blue up here. It just threw it so out of place. This just has a nice, sleek flow to it. It looks absolutely amazing. It was only like 45 bucks, I believe, for that part, and it's still the exact same. So I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but you got the little sparkles, the little reflective in there, same as you have up here on the stock paint. So it's not like flat white and then sparkle. It's a perfect match, and I think it makes the bike look so much better. So there we go, the mods on my 2024 Africa Twin Adventure Sport. I'm really happy with how I have this bike built out right now. I feel like it's very versatile for long tours, or again, off-roading, which I have done on all of them. I'm right up pretty close to 6,000 miles, so I have that long-term review coming up as well. But currently, how this bike is built out, I'm very happy with it. It's truly perfect, in my opinion, again, for multiple situations, off-roading or touring. I think the only thing I'll really be looking for right now, as much as I think this seat needs to be a little softer, I'm hoping it breaks in. I'm not sure if I'm going to invest at a upholstery shop to add some padding in it. try it out a little bit more. Again, it's not like super painful, but it's just something I would like, you know. But the one thing I'll probably start shopping for right now is a windshield. As good as these are, and they definitely do the trick, I think I could find better. I'll probably try out that Geevy one that I used on my 2022. But other than that, again, I'm very happy with this bike and the current build out here. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments. Is there any other mods you would recommend? What tires did you use? I always love talking tires. So what tires are you using on yours? And I'd love to hear some of that feedback. So anyways, thank you so much for coming by for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to catch you on the next adventure. Bye now.